I mean,
It's just every picture. One of these times, if I knew how to code, what would happen is one of these times, you'd log in and everybody's pictures just win.
I mean, Wit just cast seeming on everybody. I mean, Jinx has seeming. Everybody looks like Wit.
Oh
Well.
no.
All right. Well, let's see how volume looks.
Oh.
Glad Miranda has a new computer. Her old computer could not have handled this.
My MacBook would be dead because it's old.
My ping is not as
All
bad
right,
as I thought it
am
would
still a little quiet, so I'll turn myself up a bit. And you fucking bitches are loud, so let me turn you down.
Wahaha.
I mean, you
We're
wonderful
bitches.
ladies, you.
No, you had it right the first time.
Okay,
I
just
think it might just be me.
it is not just you, but you are one of the top contenders.
So, look, I'd like to make sure that you can adjust your volume accordingly. So I just make sure that it's always the same tone, pitch, volume. Yeah, that's the one I wanted.
Yeah, volume.
Mhm.
Wait, well.
I like it.
Now I have to turn.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Foundry update with D&D 5e and all the new Curse of Strahd stuff with our super cool updated maps and stuff. Super cool. At least I think it's cool.
Creature.
To be fair, I don't give a fuck what you
Mhm.
all think anyway, so whatever. Clap. Who wants to do the what happened last time on how to get rid of Hags 101?
Well, you stab them to death. That usually works pretty good.
Don't.
Interesting you say that because nobody stabbed them.
Bludgeon them to death.
Mm.
And cast
Fire.
spells at them to death.
Fireball, lightning bolt.
You kill them until they die from it.
Eldritch blast them to death.
You kill them until they die from it. You know what, Falgwin? You're right, sir. You're right. You just keep killing them until they're actually dead.
Then some people touched some stuff. And people got picked up off the ground. Some people got sucked into the swamp. One hag managed to get away. Then Valgwin left with Godfrey's sword and Sir Peter's sword. Wit brought a fleshy bag back. Trix managed to find said dagger. Between Rothan and Valgwin, they figured out how to stuff the Sunstones, into the hole pot. Then we made our way back to Argynvolstholt. Decided not to mess with the fleshy human flesh bag yet. All of the revenants seemed to follow Valgwin around for some reason. Did some talking. Valgwin brutalized some people in the form of a conversation. That was about it. That's real high level right there.
And Arcadia's nickname is Archie.
Mm-hmm.
And Trix has a painting that everyone
Yeah,
forgot
Trix
about.
has a fucking painting that we didn't know about. We learned a little bit about Godfrey's sword.
And that it's now
Oh, and we
Hail
learned
General Val.
We don't know that though.
And we also, well, we don't know, but
Mhm.
That's what happened.
Valgwin has to do a thing that the rest of us may kill him for, and we'll find out.
Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
Fine,
There's-
everything's
My
fine.
emotional support skull cat. Hold on.
My emotional support
support
cat is
skull
laying there.
cat? Oh my gosh, it really is a skull
Forgot.
cat.
Echo. Skelly Echo.
Oh my goodness.
Put him behind the Hatsune Miku.
Look, you've got an emotional support Hatsune Miku and an emotional support Echo. You're fine.
I do. It's my roommates at Cinemake.
I really like the spell school icons that are up there now. That's really cool. Some divination. Tells you what kind of spell school they come from.
Spell school?
Oh, in my spell book.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
Conjuration is identical, guys.
Oh my god, you guys are crazy. All right. So yeah, let's that was pretty basic but pretty on point as far as what happened last time. But let's just add a couple more deets into like the grand scheme of that whole spiel, right? Like that whole thing, that whole quest was you all were supposed to go to back to the Ravens winery to, you know, fight the hags there, get some sunstones, get a dagger. You went there, terrible swamp. Some things happened. A book was discovered. A book was opened. You all will give it a question. You all gave an answer, which ended up splitting the party. Some of you went to a super cool what happened in the past book scene and got to learn some information. May or may not have missed out on more information due to actions that could or could not have been avoided, but nobody knows that for 100% sure or not. But you learned something. That sunlight seemed to actually do something to at least that version of Strahd, and whatever iteration that was. Coming out of the book, for those of you who went inside, where, Valgwyn had a little conversation with Godfrey. He was like, "Don't worry, fam. I totes got you. We're on our way." And you guys went into the swamp to eventually find that the two people who stayed out of the book, well, they got captured. Overrun by a bunch of bugs, which, by the way, full disclosure, there was only 6 waves of bugs. Had they survived, it would have been fine. Had more people stayed out, they probably would have survived better. But hey, yeah, that's how it goes. They were stuck to some kind of table things with tapeworm-like gizmos attached to the legs, just constantly spitting blood out to buckets. Now, when you guys got in and to see this scene, you actively watched one of the hags pick up a bucket, specifically the one that was by Trix, and dump it into the cauldron. As, Devin started talking to one of the hags, little distraction. We had some dope monk shit, put some manacles on, commencing fight where right from the get-go, banishment went off, which was pretty clutch move all in all. If we really consider the grand scheme of things, in that entire fight, the trees did more damage than the hags themselves. The layer actions did more to hinder you than the hags themselves. The hags were realistically pushovers, but their support wasn't. So, totally great move, banishing the trees. Now, unfortunately, the big tree did have the big weapon wrapped up in its branches, so the weapon went with it. But hey, you know what? Trix was just totally laying on some fucking table, la-laing around anyway. Not like she was going to be of any help if she's just taking a snooze, while the rest of you are shooting lightnings and fireballs and fucking hammer throws and bursts of pew-pew damage everywhere. After the banishment was successful, the people who were on those tables were able to at least attempt to do something, right? They still really tired, really hurt, tried to rip these things off of them that were just constantly just peeing water or blood out of their bodies. Trix being the first one to get out of it, followed by Rothund eventually. They felt better, but still not tip-top shape, started getting more involved in the fight, and then Sir Godfrey showed up with another revenant that later, I don't know if Valgwyn shared this or not, but later Valgwyn was able to identify as Sir Peter because of the weapon that that Revenant was wielding. But they were burning with some kind of silvery flame and actively dissolving just to be here. More pew-pews, more tricks chasing Hags around with manacles. Like, come back here! Meanwhile, the Hag's like, no, bitch! Misstep! No, bitch! Misstep! Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. And all the while, the trees are like, fucking wit! Die, 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 die! And Wish is like, nah, 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 nah. No, 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 no. Ow, that hurt. Concentrate. Yeah. Still bandaged. Da, 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 da. Here we go now.
I should have watched this recap.
Some really fun things that in my thinking that happened. Devin trying to use the vortex warp fucking spell to chuck a bitch into a fucking thing. Had some effect, right? They rolled some super cool fiery damage, but that individual did next turn crawl out of said thing. And I do specifically recall mentioning that that individual looked much, much younger in places on their flesh. As though whatever was in this cauldron of possibly awesomeness was some kind of rejuvenating or some such. But, you know, fights happen, people died, lasagna goes down. It's a big thing. Lasagna did go down. Penne and Tetrazzini start trying to chant around lasagna, only for Trix to tackle fucking Tetrazzini, interrupting their at least chant. However, Penne did seem to finish, touched Lasagna's hand, as Lasagna's hand just bloop, fell back into the ground. In which case then Penne was like, Devin, you're kind of a dirty hoe, and seemed interested in becoming a dirtier hoe. So you're coming with me to learn the ways of hoe-ness. And Devin was like, oh no, not that, and disappeared with Penne. I'm sure that's Toad's going to be fine. In which case, then, this other individual who was just napping in the water started coughing up water and trying to help. And then, poor Godfrey stood over Valgwyn, made it seem really good, I think. Like he was going to stab Valgwyn and fucking kill him. But did not. And instead, the rest of you heard Mercy of the Damned as he seemed to expunge whatever energy he had left into Valgwyn, he himself dissipating into the nether, leaving nothing but his sword behind. And Penne got away, but Tetrazzini dies in the end. You guys successfully find the dagger still on Lasagna's body, and limped away, leaving behind the manacles, because nobody picked them back up after burning Tetrazzini, and nobody investigated the cauldron. But you did get the 3 Sunstones inside of Rothun's big hole, which was pretty packed. First time you guys seen it so packed, besides when there was a bunch of mimic tree wood inside of his big old hole. Went back to Argynvolstholt. Mission, technically a success. Granted, there were some sacrifices, some loss. And you were informed that with these items, the next day, you would be part of, or the ritual would start to purify the Sunstones as a practice for the much larger ritual for Rajir. Nobody has seen Rajir since coming back. And when you got back to Argynvolstholt, there originally when you left, there were maybe 50 revenants. Now there's hundreds. There are hundreds of revenants around. There are still hundreds of the ravens as well, but there are definitely more revenants than ravens at this point. And some of you told Misery what the hell happened. Most of you told her nothing. And went to your own sleepy times. And then some dope night shit happened. With Valgwyn getting up in people's business. Which, I mean, let's be real, right? That was pretty fucking entertaining. Telling Rothan to set his weapon and shield against the wall, bend down so he can look at the armor, then grab him by the armor and bash his fucking nose in with his skull. It's good times. It's good times. And then, Valgwyn just drowning people. That's where we're at now.
I think
Talking clearly doesn't work. You just beat and drown people until they listen.
Let's just appreciate the fact that the cleric was able to hold a barbarian under the water to even attempt to do so.
Right? I mean, it's not like you were sneaky. You open the door, she's looking at you, just shuffling. You had 2 points of exhaustion even. Like, it's not like you're super fast. Chuck it over there.
Righteous indignation helps with dice rolls.
Not wrong.
Middle of the night,
Maybe.
as Valgwyn is attempting to rest, he has a visitation, a dream, a nightmare. Who knows? Rest of you don't. Is there anything anybody wanted to do in the night other than what was text RP'd to be that nobody else knows about? So, anything? Sleepy time? Sleepy time and good night. Go to sleep, little ravens. Alright, well, in that case, all you bitches can hit your long rest button. And if you are somebody who needs to prep spells for the day, go ahead and do so. Hopefully it should take a point of exhaustion away from people.
Do I get my long rest?
Yeah, you gotta rest. Just not exactly comfortable.
Oh, you said last time everybody to hit their button, but not me yet.
Correct,
so-
because you had your little dream sequence first.
Fair enough.
Wait, how many points of exhaustion should I have? Because I don't have any more on my sheet.
Oh, I need to release my character.
And I think he had at least 2 from the fight, so is he down to 1
So you should have
now?
1 point then, probably.
Okay.
This is the first rest since leaving. You guys pushed the whole fucking swamp to get here. Like, you pushed yourselves throughout the night to get here. So...
This value is being modified by an active effect and cannot be edited.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Move on.
Okay. Not exhausted, no mo.
I'll fix it when there's a token on the map. Usually that's a problem. If you are a spell prepper, make sure you prep your spells. Early morning. Early morning. Probably waking you up. Wit and Jinx. Whether you are together or separate, though I kind of think like after a big fight, you guys are probably together.
Probably. Wit's feeling really guilty about being mad at her and then her dying, and so he probably sticking pretty close.
Don't
Alright.
worry, Arcadia told me I was the leader. It's all better now.
I'm sure she meant it when she said it.
There's not even a knock. You guys are abruptly shaken by another raven.
What's happening? Do we know the person?
I mean, yeah. Insert name of 102nd raven that you know.
Bob, what's wrong? Why are you waking us up this early?
Why is it always Bob?
Why
You named
not?
another one, Bob. He
Look,
apparently
look
can't
what-
cook, and he's a
No, 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 no.
dirty flirt.
No, 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 no. That's old Bob. This is new, young Bob. She's really short and got this
Oh.
nice, cute little
Oh,
red hair.
Oh, so you mean,
Yeah,
so you
short
mean
for
Bobby.
Bobbiana. Short for Bobbiana. That's, her name's
This is
Bob, but
Bobby.
Bobbiana.
Oh God.
She's really good at winging her makeup. She's tried to teach me a bunch of times, and I just can't get it right.
Oh God. All right. So Bob shakes you awake and says, it's time for y'all to get up because Adrian will see you.
Okay.
All right.
I guess.
Something wrong?
That's neither here nor there. Come on now. Get.
All right.
Something's always wrong. We're
Ain't that the
live
way?
here.
And Bob apparently leads you upstairs to the war room.
Okay.
Inside this room is Misery, Adrian, now Bob, you two, a couple revenants, and one other. I'm on the wrong. I don't want that. I don't want this. One other raven. There it is. Davian. Davian's in here.
Should I remember who that is?
That's great grandpappy.
Oh, he's the one that was
Oh,
blind?
He's the one that was blind.
Okay.
Really old, wrinkly. Can't really see well, but has a lot of random knick-knacky information.
The one that Jess thought was hot earlier. Okay, got it.
No, that would be Adrian.
I know, sarcasm. My bad. Keep going.
Wow. Wow. Anywho, so you two go in, I presume. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Said it was an emergency. We're coming.
Uh-huh.
Didn't exactly say it was an emergency.
Implied
Well,
it was
if you-
important.
We were woken up in the middle of morning.
All right, so you guys are in the war room. That long table is there. They've got maps spread out along the table, one of which is the map of Barovia itself. You can see where there's like little carved wooden figurines representing different towns and places of interest on the map itself. At the head of the table on the opposite side of you guys walking in is Misery in the chair that Godfrey used to sit in. But Godfrey's not here to sit. To her left, so your right at that corner of the table is Adrian, and then is Davian. The left side is open and there are a couple chairs that are. There's 4 chairs. You can sit wherever you want as far as that side is concerned. And there are the typical 2 revenants that are flanking Misery, and then there's 2 right at the doorway. So as soon as you walk in, revenant to your left, revenant to your right, empty chair, empty chair, empty chair, Davian, Adrian, Misery, and then 4 empty chairs coming back towards you. And as the 2 of you walk in, Bob just goes and sits down right next to great grandpappy Davian. And Misery goes, "Please, sit down."
Of course.
Yep.
So, I wanted to talk to you all before the rest of the group. I got some troubling information, piecing together bits from what Valgwyn has said.
And then a little bit from what Adrian here has said, who got it from you. As she's looking over to Adrian, well, we've decided that, Jinx, we don't think the front line is a place for you.
Looks at Wit.
Wit is very intentionally looking at the table, not making eye contact with Jinx.
Jinx, the things that interest you and spark your ability to find things that others cannot are also quite damaging when left unfocused. And I would like to focus that. But that's not, as of right now, that's not with Wit and the rest of the representatives of Argynvolstholt. Now this is for both of you. For Wit, it is a choice. For Jinx, it's not. You're being reassigned.
Okay.
So you're looking at taking us both off.
I am wondering if without you around, Jinx can grow into their own person and not have what they feel like is the safety net of you always saving them. In addition to not being on the front line, there are artifacts and things that we are looking for. We send teams of the kindness out to try to gather even whispers of information, and I think that would be a better use of Jinx's unique talents.
So you're not telling me I should stay. You're recommending that I go, but giving me the choice.
No. I'm recommending that you don't go. I'm recommending that you continue with the group and separate yourself from Jinx.
Now Whit'll look over and make eye contact. What do you think?
It's up to you. I don't have much of a say. I have to. She's right, though. I need to do something about things.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I like the idea of you being a little farther away from the action we tend to get into with this group. Not because I don't trust you, mind you. I just think the stakes are a little higher than you and I are used to playing with, and
Yeah.
I can't say. I still can't learn that spell that some of the others can do, and I don't know how many more times I can watch that happen, Jinxie.
I know.
But what you're good at's a little different than me. I'm kind of worried about these idiots blowing holes and stuff without asking questions first.
You can still talk to me. We have the tattoos and stuff, and I won't be alone. I have my ring, and I'll try not to get into too much trouble.
Yeah, you do have that ring, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me before we head off. I think I'd like to have a little conversation with you, me and your patron. I did
We
make
don't
a
answer
promise.
very much, though, just so you know.
I know. But and I'll swing over and look at Adrian. I'm like, I said I was in with his crew. I made that decision. And as much as for Jinxie as it is for me, I think I need to stay with it. So I'll agree to keep on with them, and as long as I can stay abreast of Jinx and make sure she's all right, or at least hear about it. She's on her own for making sure, but just hear about it.
I am glad that that is the decision that you came up with.
Look, I just think some of this group is kind of on the edge of fraying. I don't know how to say it, but they're just one tiny little feather away from tipping the scale in the wrong direction, and I don't
Well,
know what I'm saying, but I just think consistency might be good, and one more person walking out may be that feather.
from what Misery tells me about this group that you're with, they're not like the kindness where we share everything. They're more of a keep things bottled up. And I'm hoping that, well, that changes. Communication's important. So is sticking together like a kindness.
That's
Having a goal united like a kindness. Maybe you can help bring more of the, well, the things that make a kindness great to the group.
we'll see. I'll try. They don't seem to have much respect for were-ravens.
Well,
I'll do my best. That is normally what my job is, right?
he looks at you, then looks at Drinks, and looks at Misery and goes, usually your job was to help Drinks stay focused, but I think things are a bit more chaotic than normal. I think it takes more than one.
She's trying really hard not to say something. You can
Oh,
see it in her
he's
eyes.
staring at you. He's like, he's on it.
Again, trying really hard not to say something because she knows Mama Misery's there.
Wit kind of leans over, pulls her like in the shoulder, and kisses her on the temple, and be like, "You know it's out of love."
Yeah. I'll try.
No, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna do it, and you're gonna have ravens at your back, and
You're
make sure
going to
nothing's gonna
be
go
with
wrong.
others. I mean, there's going to be Dag and Elvir, Martin, Stefina, and Vigo.
Just not Bob. He's really unreliable. Not you, Bob. The other Bob.
You do realize that there are 13 Bobs, right? Like
Exactly.
Bob number 1, 2, 3, Bobby,
Don't-
Bob
You.
Joe.
I made the exception for you, Bob, not any of the other Bobs. I meant all of the other Bobs.
Fair enough.
No, funny enough, only 2 of them. Everybody else totally non-related.
But we are
Total
were-ravens.
At this point, Adrian looks to Misery, and Misery goes, so, in order to help maybe put the your two minds at ease. We already know what the next thing we're going to have Jinx look for. Now, a story that I only heard after being in this place, but I have heard of the name kind of thrown around with the Conclave before, is Mordecai. Here he's called the Mad Mage because at some point he challenged Strahd and lost but survived. Now my understanding is that he was, and maybe still is if his mind can be restored, a extremely powerful mage. But there are legends and tales that where they fought was around the Tesser Falls. And current accounts of those who have seen the Mad Mage, none of them recall him having his book with him. So we're sending Jinx to the falls to see if she can pick up the trail of his book. Because I imagine that I know that Valgwyn has spoken of it, and I know that collectively you all have spoken of finding him as a potential ally, and I can't imagine that a wizard without their book is probably useless.
And wizards.
So hopefully that's far enough away from current events that Jinx will be in, well, less danger than you, Wit. Less danger than I.
An extremely useful thing to be doing, Jinxie. Rothan's been gunning
Imagine
for
what's
that
all
old
in
man.
that fun book. All sorts of things.
See?
Magic stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll find it.
It's the Mad Mage's book himself. Imagine what's in there. You learn
Yes,
how to disintegrate people.
do not open it and read it. What if you
Yeah,
unleash something horror and it eats you? I don't know. It's a
I
Mad
mean,
Mage's book.
it's happened before. Books have eaten us before. Basically, that book thing, right? That was a book.
It was a book.
Okay, I
It
won't
was.
open a book.
She looks over to Adrian and she goes, Are you sure that you're sending enough people to keep her under control? And he looks at her and goes, No. And then she stands up from her chair, pushing the chair back. And as she begins to just slightly move that chair, the revenants grab either side of the chair and move it back for her, so she's not struggling against this massive wooden carved chair. And she thanks them, and she walks over. She kneels down and stares Jinx in the eyes. Find it only, and let us know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now, do either of you have any questions?
When's she leaving?
She looks over to Adrian, and Adrian goes, I mean, the others are ready to leave now. We are at the time where we need to be finding items and allies, and time is no longer on our side. So, now.
Okay. Turns and gives Wit the biggest hug she can.
He'll return it back and be like, now, make sure you get some food to take with you. You know you get hungry when you're
I'll
flying
be
for too long. And
fine.
you stick some of that in your that ring can hold a bunch of stuff, all right? And don't make the mistake of putting a pocket dimension inside a pocket dimension. Something in there tells me that might have happened. Just he just kind of holds her face like,
You'll be
you
fine.
you listen to me. You take care of you like I'd take care of you, okay? I can't wait no
Okay.
more. I'm gonna bite your nose.
Don't. That's rude.
Go get that book.
Of course.
It'll make Rothan happy with you. Follow, girl.
I don't think Rothan's looking for that book.
He wants the mage. He's been on about that mage for forever, and I think the mage without the book.
Oh, and
put 'em
werewolves.
together.
Ugh,
God,
those
tell
dogs.
you what. You deal with the book, I'll deal with the dogs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You check in when you get back. If I don't hear, I gotta hear from you like once every 24 hours. All right?
I'll try to remember.
You just hugs her again. Get out of here. Go.
Well, okay then. I guess I'll go find the others.
They're outside the door.
Wonderful. Less chance of getting lost.
As you head to that doubles the big doors, walking out of the war room, Misery goes, Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
Do a good job.
I will.
Fly safe.
Thank you.
And the revenants next to there open up the doors, and yeah, right outside, those people are like, you could tell immediately they were all up against the door trying to listen in, and they're doing the whole back like whistling, like, oh, like super exaggerated. Oh, there you are. We've been waiting for big hugs all around. They're just and they just
Yep.
As a group, you all
Mm-hmm.
walk away as they already have some things with them ready for this trip, and
Yep.
that closes
Turn
the
around right before I
player
leave
character.
and wave to Wit.
Wit will wave back just as exaggerated, and as soon as the door closed, Wit is gonna poof into Raven form. It's hard to read Raven body language.
Well, it might be hard for everybody else in that room. There's one person who knows.
They're fine.
He's not gonna say anything.
Exactly.
Misery will stand up and, well, after you have a moment there, Wit, and some food, preferably, and the rest wake up, we have some Sunstones to cleanse. So I need to go prepare for that. And she leaves the war room. Adrian and old great grandpappy, there's so many greats involved. It's just too many. Davian, Adrian helps Davian up, and they leave, and when they do, the doors stay open. 2 revenants at the chair side that Misery was standing at stay, but the 2 that were at the door flank Misery and walk out with her. So it's just you alone on this big table, or on the chair, whatever you did as a raven, with all your stuff
I'll
just
ride out.
everywhere.
No, I'm gonna ride out on Arian's shoulder. I'm gonna leave my shit in the war room.
Okay.
I'll come back for it later. I imagine it was just like his sleep shirt and pants, so I'll walk around naked at some point.
Isn't that what you all do at some point?
Exactly. Where ravens? Balls out.
All right. Well, the morning is yours. The rest of you fam lambs, as we close the chapter on the player character Jinx, who is now an NPC. Well, since nobody talks, you're all dead. Great. Campaign over.
Wait, what? Well, you know, I assume my conversation's taken place by this point in time.
Yes. The RP thing in the background that totes happened. Yes.
I would like to round up a couple revenants.
Easy enough. They're like ants. They're everywhere.
I want to find a big rock. Not like an enormous rock, but a good-sized rock. Like one that could be carried by 6 or 7 people.
You'd have to go down to the quarry, but you totally could probably find something of that size there. Otherwise, depending on what you're trying to do, there is the statue of the dragon in the front main area.
It's just stone brick, right?
The whole thing's just stone.
Should work. Yep. I am going to take Godfrey's sword, and I am going to combine it with stone shape, and I will plant the sword in the stone, sticking out of it.
Okay, Lady of the Lake.
Okay.
That was Excalibur, not the first sword that King Arthur had. Whose name escapes me right now. Then I will have 2 of the revenants stay there and guard it, and anyone is willing to try and take the sword from the stone that wants to use it.
Is that the command you give them?
As long as the sword lets itself be pulled from the stone, yes.
Okie dokie. Alright. So from where you're at, you're at in front of the main entrance to the castle. As you look at those double set of doors, off to the left is where that training ground is at. And even from your perspective, you can see Trix with that massive sword Hornguard as she's actively trying to learn to wield it. And she is fumbling. It's definitely a different beast without the size and strength of what she used to be.
Are there any revenants there in the training ground? Well, I mean, I know they're like ants; they're bloody everywhere. Is there any great sword users there?
So you can see that the revenants that are there is they seem to be carving something in the ground.
What are they carving?
Would you like to go over?
I would love to go see what they're doing.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll.
A still says I have 2 levels of exhaustion. Hold on, I have to go down 1. I can't change it because I can't see my token. Please, sir. I want to roll normally. Well, I'll just hit normal for now, anyway. Hot 10.
From the angle that you're at, it's whatever it is that they're doing. It's big. Maybe a different vantage point would help you see a bit better.
You know what? How about we just do this? Oi, you lot! What are you doing over there? In Draconic.
Awesome. Give me a D10. Let's see which one you get of these poor schmucks. Okay, it's fine. So the one that responds, it says, draw picture ground.
I can obviously see that. What are you drawing in the ground?
Picture.
What type of picture?
Picture ground.
You standing next to him. What type of picture are you drawing in the ground?
The one next to him shrugs their shoulders.
Right then, I guess I'll just go look for myself. I guess I'll go up to where I know there is windows on like the 3rd floor and try to look at what the hell the thing is.
Yeah, go ahead. Cool. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh yeah, way better at those. Apparently yes. I'm
They're
better.
clearly drawing some kind of foundation for a ritual, probably.
All right,
and
cool.
It's pretty big.
Big.
Like
ritual.
as you go up the stairs, you smell something cooking, some bit of breakfast maybe cooking in the kitchen. Smells good. As you continue going up, looking out to the window off that side, looking down, the Revenants are actively pushing Trix off of the training field because they need the space. And they are drawing this big circle, and then some smaller bits and some connecting bits. And every once in a while, the one that you talked to that said picture ground looks at a picture and tells people to draw. This goes here on the ground.
Oh, God.
They don't know what they're drawing. They're drawing a picture on the ground.
I'll go down there and I'll just double check their work just in case.
Good idea. Wit's baking breakfast, and apparently some of you are some of you having the Wit breakfast?
Oh yeah.
How many sandwiches have you made, Wit?
So it's we're not doing sandwiches because that's not a comfort food. We're definitely doing some sort of fried thing with whatever greens I can get a hold of. We're just going to be getting like a cornbread going in the cast iron in the bottom of the oven if we can find some sort of meal. If not, it's going to be some sort of like just kind of hot cake that, you know, they don't sit real hard. Going to get whatever's thing on top of that, get whatever jams in the thing and put it on top. Lots of bacon. I mean, he's just whatever like little fussy thing he can do. That's the kind of breakfast he's making. Just to keep his, you know, keep himself busy.
All right. So Wit is trying to use a darker wheat to make a kind of a cake as well as there's plenty of slabs of wolf. There's no bacon. That's gone. There's
Well,
no
slice
eggs.
wolf fine enough, it'll
It-
act like it.
You know exactly. You slice anything fine enough, it's probably
It
close
fries.
enough.
It's
So
Barovian
yeah,
bacon, bitches. Come on down.
you got wolf bacon and dark wheat cakes made in a pan.
Perfect.
Yum.
You know what there's plenty of though? Wine and ale. People who are having breakfast, is there anything that you're want to do, talk about? What are you doing? Just eating and leaving? Gonna have a conversation?
Arcadia's gonna come in and go over to where everything's being stacked up, grab a piece of meat, stick it in their mouth. It kind of sticks out like this, and then look over at the cakes, grab 2 or 3, and just sort of like sit on the counter as Wit's cooking. Like, hey, what you doing?
Don't burn. Well, I mean, I thought that was rather obvious. Don't burn your fingers. There's a fork in here somewhere.
What do I need that for? Just and like crumbs are coming down everywhere. There's no table manners whatsoever. Talking with the mouth open. Everything's like, what do I need that for?
He's just gonna pour like a lighter ale and hand it to her. Be like, nothing. It ain't useful for nothing. Just
Thanks.
gets in the way.
Vivi will kind of walk in and be just like, grabs food. Thank you.
Dust off.
We met yesterday, right? It's a little foggy.
Yeah,
But,
morning.
briefly. Good morning.
Wit, this thing's yours? I point at Archie.
No, that thing's mine.
Something like that. They
Ah.
left me alone.
You're
In the
fine.
area.
But
in the dark.
did you die? Are
That's
you
beside
dead?
the point.
What is I support? You're
I'm gonna pour
perfectly alive.
slightly
Here, have
stronger
some-
ale for Viv.
Here, have some meat. And meat to Viv. You're alive.
I'll
Look,
ups-
you can eat. It's delicious.
Yep.
As you three are having that conversation inside the kitchen there, the door that goes to the chapel opens, and Rothan walks out, looking very haggard. He has blood on his face, dried, but blood on his face, and he just gets a mug and fills it up with an ale and asks, "Can I have some of that?"
Good morning, soldier. And I'm gonna hand a piece of meat over to Rothan.
You look a little rough there, Ro. You all right? And I'll make him a plate.
Thank you.
You got
Just been thinking about some things. I'm fine. Thank you.
you got a little. Hold on. There's a little water around here somewhere, and I'll get a rag and get it all wet and bring it out. And just right here.
Give me an investigation roll, Wit.
I'm so good at these guys. I'm so smart. Intimidation. No, investigation. I clicked the right one, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm so smart.
You can tell that his nose is broken.
Oh, shit.
Ro, what you been Let's go find Val. What's wrong?
A lot of things are wrong. Just working through some things.
Is the nose actively bleeding or just
No, it's obviously. I mean, it's dry blood.
Okay.
His nose wasn't broken yesterday, but it's broken now.
How did that happen?
What happened? Doesn't his face always look like that?
He's got blood on his face, Acadia. What do you think? You need help? Like, healing help-ish?
What? Your face doesn't always look like that?
He-
I'm gonna like
he
jump
sets
off
the
the counter.
plate and the cup down. He's like, "Huh? Oh." And he blows the fresh blood out of his nose, picks his stuff back up, goes, "No, I'm fine, thank you."
I will take the rag and just kind of wipe down his face to get the chunk of it, and then I'll wipe the floor and not in my kitchen, Rothand. Eat something. You look like shit.
Thank you, Wit, for your help. And he takes his plate and his cup and he goes back into the church area.
Food in the chat. What is wrong with people and their manners today? That was weird.
Hey, where's the boss?
Busy. Talking about misery?
No, your sister, the boss lady.
Oh. Oh, we're gonna have to keep an eye on you.
Uh-huh.
Have the good sense God gave a clam.
Correct.
Oh,
What's a clam?
they're the when you neuter a bull or any form of animal, when you snip those off, they're called Barovian clams. So you can serve them if they're deep fried.
Got it.
You know, they're a little spongy, but kind of a delicacy
I
around
understand
down
now.
the spring.
Thank you for
It's
clarifying. Barovian clams.
Look, it's not a Rocky Mountain oyster here, but close enough. Sorry, Archie. I feel like you guys have gotten along real well. She's been sent out on another assignment.
Good for her.
Yeah, she gonna do great, I think.
So does that make the short guy's the boss now, isn't he?
Supposedly Rothund is, but something's odd there too.
I don't. The short guy's the boss, right?
Something tells me she's your boss, and I point over at Viv.
I cannot control Acadia.
I can't control anyone either, but that doesn't change. Now, I'm so sorry. Do you go by Viv? Vivian? What do you like to be called?
Well, my name's Viviana, but you can call me Vivi. Most people do, or Viv, or whatever.
Nicknames tend to be kind of a thing, but as long as it ain't Bob, we should be fine.
Nope. And for reference, like Viviana has like this scar over her left eye that's like this glowy scar thing that's kind of cool looking. So, let me grab the picture just because like
Glowy scar thing.
It's pretty.
Yep. Let me steal the image real quick. I clicked the right box. It actually helps.
Nah. Ooh.
Glowy scar.
Wait, hold on. Like, it's actively glowing.
Just slightly.
Oh. I know better than to ask a lady about that from the outset, whether or not I'm curious or not, so.
Just figured I'd let you know right away because you didn't know about Trix's photo, you know.
I'll forget about it in several weeks. But yours is going to be less likely to be forgotten about.
Minutes.
In-game weeks. In-game weeks.
I understand.
player.
Thank you for clarifying.
If I hadn't gotten Viviana food, I would have made her a plate as well, completely ignoring if Archie had made a plate because I feel like their fingers are probably still covered in dirt. So
Fact.
They eat with their fingers all the time. It's them.
You know what? Functionality. I just prefer to wash my hands before I stick them in what I'm eating. So if she touched I'm just gonna get you a different plate. All right?
They're an interesting person, but they're nice.
Are they? You guys both at Human Resistance?
Yeah.
Yep.
How did you all end up out here?
We were sent here.
You said. How did y'all know that Argynvolstholt had
We
woken
didn't.
up?
Our leader didn't. We were sent.
How did your leader know? That's sort of a question. It's not.
That's a great question that I don't have the answer to.
Ah, that's fair. Now that you're here, what you be doing?
Whatever needs doing.
Top of the list. Kill Strahd.
Yes.
Second on the list. Kill Strahd. Third
Correct.
on the list. Kill Strahd.
To make
That's
sure
it.
he's
That's my
dead.
to-do list.
You're probably gonna need to add a few steps in between.
It's like
not a
how
bad
you
list.
kill Hags. You just keep killing them until they're dead.
Keep killing till they're dead.
If it works for Hags, it's got to work for Strahd, right?
Listen, the steps to get there. I did. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Now there's some more steps there.
Yes.
How did I? Am I gonna go from managing one to managing another? No, no. This one's on its own. Oh dear.
I like you. You
They're
worry too
fine.
much, though.
You know, I've been told that, but I tend to have justifiable reasons.
I don't think so. I think you should just, like, forget the worry and just let it happen.
I think you should wash your hands before you catch some sort of terrible disease, but you know, we can't all get what we want.
You're so cute.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
We're gonna be good friends.
Cheers.
I like you.
You know, the bacon in the back there's the one that's got the fat still attached to, but that's the one you want. It's the one that tastes closest to bacon.
Okay.
There is,
Oh, lordy. Savon, what are you doing during all this?
that's what I was about to ask. Where's Savant?
While everyone was talking, I was actually gonna type that in the chat. No, she was just gonna make her rounds, eventually end up in the kitchen. But
Alright, so Savon walks to the kitchen.
Or some food.
I'm just eyeing the new people like a hawk because I don't trust them. I will sit down and eat though. God.
You're gonna get,
Whittle-
you're gonna
Whittle
get
make you a
frown
plate.
lines.
And also be a little confused by the fact that she's eating, but also make her a plate and pour her ale and just some new people.
What, you don't like it? I'll eat it if you don't like it.
Oh, excuse me. As you are talking there, you Trix eventually comes in carrying that massive sword about their shoulder, and they just kind of set it down and they go, does anybody else know why the Revenants have decided to draw random things on the training ground? They
Well,
kicked me off the training ground.
we're purifying Sunstones today, Trix.
Oh, there's food. And she just starts,
Handed it to her.
Alright, she's gonna take some bacon grease, it's not quite dried. Move down the hair a little bit. And go like sit in front of Trix. Good morning.
yeah, goodbye. She takes her plate and her mug, finishes, grabs her sword, and leaves.
Hate to see you leave, but love to watch you walking away.
Yeah, wait to see how that pans out.
Oh, don't worry.
Mud, remember, not.
I will
not bacon.
wear her down. Everyone will eventually succumb. Don't you worry.
all the tact of a 2x4 to the head. I can appreciate that.
True.
Listen, I could die tomorrow. I got no time for games. I'll walk
You'll
out
die-
the door and get struck by like blood lightning or something. I got no time for games.
Blood Latin?
I mean, you're from here. You never know what the fuck's gonna happen.
I ain't never seen blood lightning.
There was blood rain, though.
There was blood rain. That was quite odd.
It was real bad.
Apparently this group had something to do with it. Although apparently not any of them that are still alive, or only like one or two.
But isn't the blood rain caused by Strahd? But they caused it?
They had something to do with it. You'd have to ask him. I think Rothan and maybe Valgyn was alive. I'm not sure, but I don't know. All I heard, something about blood rain and something to do with their fault.
Noted.
Complicated in
I'm gonna
inter-party
I'm
dynamics.
gonna have to move our two new people down for a moment. We're gonna jump down. All right. Just
Okay.
as a reminder for you two, you also saw the message from the orb, and you do not trust these people because they're clearly Strahd's friends. If he's offering his word of protection for them, the conclave individuals you have no trust for. Now, you were sent here in order to make some kind of relations with Argynvolstholt, because Argynvolstholt is loudly actively saying they are against Strahd, whereas Resistance has been doing things more in the shadows. And so you guys are kind of here to try and maybe have an equal partnership or something, and in order to bring the two groups together, or at least united in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, this group, it's, I mean, handle that it's words.
You said something about the
handle that
message
however
from the
you want.
orb.
Yes.
What?
Is that the one when Strahd was saying to give them protection and don't harm them at all?
Yes.
Okay, just making
Yeah.
sure that I got the right message. Okay.
Yep. That
This
orb
must
was
have been
sent out to
something-
multiple people, to multiple groups.
That this must have been something that I did not see. So what happened?
I think that was before Devon. It was when we got the invites for the wedding. There was a message that went out to all of Barovia saying to protect, not to harm these people, and it was all everybody's pictures and everything.
Oh.
So
okay.
they're friends of Strahd.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the
so there
people who
was-
were identified in the picture were Rothund, I mean, Misery was on it, other
Yep.
people, Valgyn was on it. As far as the people that are current, I think it's just those three that
Correct.
were on it that are actively in purview.
Okay, so those are the ones that we would think would be with Strahd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, granted, right, Misery seems to be in some way, shape, or form some kind of leader for Argynvolstholt, so maybe she's
She
not
might be okay.
with Strahd. She might be okay, but I would say
oh,
just keep
yeah.
in mind that you guys...
Yeah. Val and
should
Rowers
be-
caused the blood rain, so
Yeah,
We
and
gotta
now
kill
you're
them
being
now.
told somebody of them caused the blood rain. Like, you should be skeptical. Skeptical?
Uh-huh.
So
By
That's
the way,
the-
your group is called the Berov Militia, and your leader is Alec Gwillem. And I will copy pasta that because this stuff Amanda already knew. I will copy
Is
both of
that
these
the
names to
same
you,
last
Jessica.
name as Sir Godfrey?
It is the same last name as Sir Godfrey. Good job.
But I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard that name though,
Nope.
in character. Okay.
Nobody here has ever called Godfrey by his last name.
So what's the group called again?
I just sent it to you in Discord message.
Okay.
Thank you.
The militia is the group is the group name. Alec is the leader.
All right. Let me quick review. Message went out when the invitations went out, and Rothan, Valgwyn, and Misery were featured in the message, and Strahd says to protect them. And none of the other group was on there. We're sent here to form a relationship with Argynvolstholt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because Argynvolstholt seems to be actively against
actively
Strahd, whereas
against Strahd.
Resistance is like passively
Underground.
against Strahd because they're more underground, right?
Okay.
And
So-
there in the image or in the message that came in the orb, there were names and pictures from the orb as this message of who these people were. So you've met Rothan. Now, Rothan also looked much younger in this picture.
He looks a lot older here.
He
Okay,
does look
okay.
much older now.
Okay.
Valgwyn looks the same. Misery looks the same. Actually, no. Misery... Hang on. Yes, I'm thinking of Rajir's changes, not Misery. Misery looks the same. Sorry.
Okay. Would we be prohibited from joining Argynvolstholt? The
I don't think we were joining like the whole getting tattoos or anything. We were just sent here to be an allied organization. Is that correct from what I
Correct.
understand?
You guys were initially sent, let's see if they want to be pals, and
we're
go
visiting. We're visiting dignitaries
You're
that are just trying to
dignitaries.
make sure.
You are
Make
representatives.
sure that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe wasn't Trix in there? I think Trix was in there.
Yes.
So Trix is in the picture.
Yes,
Yes.
she would have been.
Awesome.
Perfect.
You're flirting with the enemy.
Oh, perfect. It is perfect. Enemies to lovers. I love it.
I knew this was going to happen. Yeah. So that.
That, yeah.
Got it.
As for how like Alec knew anything like that, that is above your pay grade, if you will.
Yep.
You will know that Alec is one of the few who has memories of the past cycles.
Okay. Is there a way that we're supposed to be reporting back things? How does that work?
Good old-fashioned legs and verbal communication.
Don't trust paper.
What are you going to do? Give it to the enemy to have it sent back?
I
Exactly.
don't know. Maybe we had like super sending stones or something. Who
Nope.
knows?
We're not
Why?
that fancy.
You would just lose them. They're just rocks to you.
Y'all are making these assumptions that Archie doesn't have a brain.
Or she might
Just
actually
wait.
be smart. You never know.
Making the
Just saying.
assumptions because
If
they
they're
have a big
magical
mouth.
rocks, that means when you throw them at people, they hurt harder.
Right?
Yes, but when Archie throws things, they automatically come back.
Fancy.
Baloney.
Thrown weapon feet, my dear.
Baloney. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna pop us back up.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
It's over too quickly. Like the taste is just too short.
All
right, I got
Now
you.
that that's
Isn't
done, I'm thirsty, so we're gonna go on break.
What?
Okay.
say always, but you're talking about
It's never.
things.
It's really never.
It's really never.
We didn't know if you were ready. You were flirting with Merlin.
That's fair.
And getting drunk, getting turned.
We
Not
just
me.
tried
Probably
the,
is too. It's
just
fine.
tried the vanilla stuff.
We're
No.
here to turn down for what?
I had a sip. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Tom Berlin is a couple
Now I want a
days.
tequila sunrise.
Berlin.
Yeah, that's enough. Alrighty, so
Never enough.
Trix walks away. Rest of you are in the kitchen. Valgwyn, what are you doing?
I thought we were talking about that before
I know.
you. I'm doing exactly what I said I'm doing.
Well, I don't know what are you doing?
I'm out there inspecting their work.
Uh-huh. And I told you.
Oh, okay, I see. I misread that. I thought there was a question mark at the end of that statement, like pending further investigation. Yeah, okay, I guess I'll go get something to eat then, since I have not eaten.
All right then. Well, in that
'Cause I
case,
feel like that's
the
what you really
leader of
want
the
me to
group
do.
shows up in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
According to Archie, the leader according to Archie.
That's right.
Oh God, did Val freeze for anyone but me? Okay, there we go.
No,
Now
he's
back.
moving.
He's fine.
There's your
My
pet.
internet's
Lay
having
down.
a little trouble. Either my internet or my.
A couple of you are.
Anyway, good morning, boss man.
Oh, don't.
Rolls her eyes.
Valwyn will be like, got that look on his face like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm fairly
Not obviously
certain
say that, but
Yeah.
Whit'll start making you a plate and be like, I'm fairly certain there's some sort of traumatic brain injury involved. This is what we got. You might want to check in with Rothan, by the way. He had a broken nose and he might need some healing. Not like he'd admit it, but he was in the chapel early. If you check on him.
I think he's doing okay. Let me guess, he's probably thinking about something.
Well, he did say he was thinking. I don't know. He thanked me. He seemed in a weird mood this morning.
Yeah. He did also refuse aid, so.
Yeah, that's pretty typical for Rothan. You get used to it.
Hey, well, perhaps he should have his good long think then.
All right.
His septal cartilage will heal just fine.
Well, ain't that a treat? What's on the docket for today? Are we helping out with them Sunstones?
Hey, so the evidence that outside seemingly drawing some sort of, ritual into the training grounds, which is why Trix probably came this direction in a huff.
She did. Better. Hopefully that'll help.
Hey, so seems like they're drawing it well enough, like, accurately. I'm not sure if all the revenants are, well, all upstairs, but good enough for this job.
I'm sure Misery will have a once over it before she tries to do anything with it. This is a pretty important task we're trying to do, and getting set up to practice for, bigger things. So I'm sure they got a handle on it.
They're about half done. I already checked over what they've done so far, and everything seems to be in order.
Have they told you what they want us to do related to it, or they didn't mention anything in the meeting this morning?
The only thing I've heard is one tiny part. As for what the bulk of the ritual contains, I'm not sure.
Do you want to figure what's in that skin bag before we start before the ritual? Just in case anything's in there that might have any sort of adverse effect to what we're doing today?
Probably not a terrible idea. We'll seal the forge and check it in there.
You wanna
Best to
the
do it
forge?
probably on holy ground.
Either that, or I was thinking of taking it off grounds entirely in case something happened. But I'll trust you with it. All right, when you're done eating, let's go check it out. The forge isn't anywhere near the sigils that they're drawing, correct?
Opposite end of the castle.
Okay, because I don't want anything that could potentially explode and interfere with that.
I mean, you guys have a knack for creating big explosions, so.
Okay. I have only been involved with those that have happened on purpose.
Yep.
I say that as wit.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my.
Well, eat your fruit, Val. When you're done, let's go. It's got a weird feeling about this thing, and I don't like it in my pocket.
Well, I'll grab a handful of whatever and stuff my face as I walk. Well, I'll meet you over there. I have to go ask her ladyship a question.
Okay. The forge will let me in? I've been in there before, right?
I know you've been over by it.
Okay.
I don't
we'll
remember
find
if
out.
you've been in it.
So yeah, that question goes to it'll let me in? It's fine.
There's nothing barring you from entry.
I don't
Just
know nothing
keep your
about
sister
forge.
away from it.
She's gone.
Dead and gone, or just not in proximity.
We'd be having a different reaction if she was dead and gone. She's been sent on an assignment. She's gonna do field work separately from this group from now on.
She got a promotion.
Misery sent her after Mordenkainen's book. Apparently they've gotten a bit of a lead on where it might be, and Jinx is really good at finding stuff, especially when it don't want to be found. So, sent Jinx and a group of were-ravens to go try and retrieve it.
I'll not argue the point that she's good at finding what she's looking for. It's just everything else before and generally after that is where it all goes wrong.
I'm not disagreeing, and that's why she has been reassigned from this team.
Well, one problem at a time.
Meet you at the forge.
I'm off to find Misery.
And I'll go to the forge.
You
Siobhan,
need
maybe
some help?
come to you. Maybe your expertise might be handy related to knowing.
I'll come.
Arcadia, we should see if they need any help.
Yeah, you need help? I'm gonna jump down and just start following.
Oh dear.
Follow as well.
Well, good thing I'm going.
Wit will link arms with Siobhan, and you're probably about the same height. Kind of leans over and goes, "Thank you," and just kind of walks with you.
I lean over and I'm like, I don't trust them.
Secrets don't make friends!
Savon is 6'5", by the way.
Oh, so yeah, Siobhan's that's kind of what I pictured. That she was taller than Wit. Not by much.
I would have went down. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
he'll just I'm with you. New friends, but you know, we treat new friends nice.
Well, while you all head to the forge, you see Trick still mumbling under their breath at the table she's sitting at, bitching about the training ground.
There's more in the kitchen, Tricks.
She just waves at you.
Figure.
Valgwyn, how do you try to find Misery?
Obviously I'm going to ask the nearest pair of revenants that I find, who are not guarding that very special archway that's got the thing walking up and down it. I don't want to bother those guys. They're on a mission from someone.
Okay.
Probably me when I told them all to go back to what they were doing.
All right, well, roll me a d10. See if the ones you talk to are ones that talk back. Because not all of them do.
You know what? Speaking of all these revenants, and they're like ants, are some of them like what could be considered much better condition than others?
Oh yeah, there are varying stages of decay.
And I assume that most, like, for instance, the not so talk good, why use many words when few do from earlier was more on the decayed side.
No.
Oh, he's on the better side.
That particular one was on the better side. Their level of decay does not indicate their level of communication.
Oh, fair enough. Well, that's what I was.
But I like where your mind was going with that. Yeah. Anyway, at the 7, you were told that Misery is with Regier, and that it is not advised for you to find them.
Fair enough. In that case, I'm gonna use my tattoo and try and communicate with Misery. And with that point, I'll whisper you my question.
Okay. Whisper. So, what's the stud and his new harem as they're walking over to the forge? What are you all talking about?
Seekers don't make friends. As they're walking in front of us.
Secrets, dear, we're just not sure what to do with you yet. New friends take a little time to get used to. You can have the other arm I've got too, dearest.
I'm gonna run up there really quick and hook arms with Wit.
I'll hook over and kind of pat her and kind of check out like, I don't know, look at you, you're pretty strong there, aren't you? What's your preferred method of murder?
Archie has 2 swords strapped to their back. Preferred method, that one and that one at the same time.
So just straight up blades, no magic involved?
Oh, there's a little sparkle occasionally.
Alright. Kind of sparkle. You like explosions, healing kind of magic, you know?
Yes and yes.
Well, that's a useful friend to have indeed.
What about you?
Well, you saw a lot of it, and he'll kind of toss a little bit of a firebolt in between his fingers. Fire tends to be one of my favorite things, but lightning's a bit of a specialty. I'm not very good at like defensive magics or basically explosions. Those tend to be my specialty. Acid, fire, lightning, anything else that tends to be a little more fine-tuned for my skill set.
Magical chaos.
No, it's actually generally pretty predictable. I use magic, things blow up.
Magical destruction. Even
Yeah.
better.
Whatever works.
Exactly. What about you, Vivi? What are your preferred murder methods?
Whatever works at the time. She'll touch the little she has this little ball thing that looks like it's on a little rock inside of it, and it's got metal wrapped around it. She'll just touch the stone inside and cast light on it. Hitting them with
Oh.
light usually works. Things that
Another
are in the
magic
dark
user?
don't like the light.
Not generally. Magic user entirely, or do you do weapons as well?
I can when needed. I don't even remember what I have. This is fun. But she does have a mace.
And what kind of magic? Are you like our friend Valgwyn calls on a god for his to come on down? You like me? It just comes from the heart, or where's your magic come from?
The light of Lathander will burn away the darkness.
Oh, Lathander hadn't been calling in a while, but
There are some places underground where it has been remembered who he is.
You been up to Berez?
No.
His old temple is actually still standing up there.
Interesting.
It was underwater, at least when we left. The Hags had sort of taken over, but 4 walls still.
Well, I suppose if I had followed the one who ran blindly into a swamp screaming, I might have found it.
True. You might have.
I mean, everyone's alive. It obviously went well. And now we know where to take you on vacation. Thanks for the tip.
What's vacation?
Good question.
A place and a time to rest.
So not here.
No,
Lovely, actually.
sightseeing.
Actually, if you've been at the castle, it is kind of a good place to rest. It's generally pretty well protected, as you can see.
Good to know. How long have you been with this group? To Wit and Siobhan.
I'll look up at Siobhan. Give her a second to answer first.
As long as I can remember. Well, depending on which group you're referencing.
Either this small group or the larger Argynvolstholt.
I don't remember.
Well, that is a good question for you, Broodmother. Did you come up with a house? Den-mother? Which is it Den-mother or Broodmother?
Wait, the player's confused about the question.
She is the den mother.
Den-mother. Den-mother. You come up with a house? As in, were you raised it with Argynvolstholt, or were you hired in, is what Wit is asking.
I don't remember.
Does Siobhan have any tells that would make it seem like they are withholding information?
Give me an insight roll. As far as you know, Siobhan doesn't blink, breathe, or move their face in any way other than what is exactly needed to say what it is they exactly say.
Facts? And what about you, to Wit?
Well, initially my sister and I, we've been with the kindness, the ravens you've been seeing around. It's our family, so our whole lives. This group, he gestures his horns at Siobhan. A little more recently, we had an initial encounter with the hag. I'd gotten captured, and I got liberated as part of their first attempt to take her down. So after that, we were on loan, ended up loaned out to them from the kindness, and then kept on going from there. The kindness got eventually folded into Argynvolstholt when the Hags took over the winery, and we needed a new place to be. So it's not been long. apparently the majority of this group's been here for a little while, but, well, the group itself had been here for a little while. I don't know, again, I think Rothan's the only one still intact from who walked first in, but they've been here for a while.
And how do you feel about being part of this group?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Nervous.
Hmm.
Big smile.
What about you there, Siobhan?
What do you mean?
How do you feel about being part of this group overall?
The Order, I'm confident in. This group, not so much.
Hmm.
There's it.
Good to know.
Look, this group is fine. They're learning. They're getting better. Got a bunch of strong personalities learning how to work together. You know, it's common goals helpful.
So, getting better at working together or getting better at something else?
No, the working together part. The rest of it, actually, they're quite talented at, as you witnessed.
And what are your next steps, your goals for this? What I hear is they've spoken of defeating Strahd, but steps got a little bit foggy. Nothing was clear.
Well, you know, as a very lower level individual in the Order, I'm not entirely sure what I'm able to share with you, and I don't know much, but, you know, first things first is we're going to get these Sunstones in order, and we're going to get the defenses in this castle back up. After that, I think Rothan still wants to go find some werewolves. And a mad mage.
Sounds fun. We're in, right, Vivi? And I'm gonna like pat Vivi on the back.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I mean, come on down. How bad could it be?
It is Barovia. We've seen some pretty bad things.
It's
Exactly.
just another day. I was gonna say Tuesday. I don't even know if Tuesday's a thing. It's just another day.
Exactly.
That it is.
Did we pass the sword and the stone on our walk?
Yep.
Oh dear.
Oh.
As we pass the sword and the stone, everyone's still talking. We're like, definitely rubbernecking that one as we walk past. What is
Rubbernecking it
Don't
like it's a hot chick or something.
Touch
like.
things
Yeah.
that aren't yours.
There are
Don't.
4 revenants standing around that statue of a dragon that has the sword plunged into the larger section of stone on its back.
Well, that's a new addition.
That's not always been there.
Siobhan, you know anything about that one?
About what?
The sword we got in the...
Yeah, Siobhan,
Statue.
somebody defaced the fucking statue to Argynvolstholt.
Okay, it's not in the statue itself. It's in the stone base. I just stuck it into the stone.
I like
So
saying it was in the statue itself, but apparently it's not the case. Damn it.
No.
Okay, disregard that. then.
I feel like
Good.
Valgwyn saw the light
Disregard
flashing between his eyes
Siobhan's
there.
murderous rage.
No, like,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
apparently didn't do a good job describing what I did, so I'm just correcting the record.
You're just clarifying.
I know better than to be like, huh, her doing the let's stick it in the dragon's forehead. That's a good plan.
Hey, that's what happened in Waterdeep. Why can't it happen in Curse of Strahd?
Wait, when did we stick a sword in a stone?
You took a sword out of a dragon's head.
Yeah, that's different.
That's not.
It's different.
It's not.
That
Dragons
was a
and
live
swords.
dragon.
Was it? Is it?
Maybe.
Yeet.
It definitely is. It's coming for us.
Well, about 5-ish or so minutes later, after the harem gets to the forge, here comes Valgwyn.
You ready?
He's busy. But we should do this post-haste. I think they're about ready to start the ritual here soon.
All right. We had done identify on it earlier, right? And it was evocation and... No, it was abjuration and... enchantment?
Necromancy.
Necromancy. I couldn't read it looked like Heron. So that wasn't... I don't know what I wrote. So, all right. How do you want to do this? Just everyone kind of stand back and I open it, and if I
Everybody
die-
in the forge, and I want you to put it up on the... you two, the crazy one and the priestly-looking one. Close
Archie
them
and
doors.
Vivi.
Okay. Close the door.
I've never been called priestly before, and I'm gonna close the door.
Roll my.
Viviana, give me a religion check.
Oh, let's see. Am I good at these things?
We'll see.
Oh shit!
I'm good at this
Oh,
thing.
So,
Oh shit!
as you come out of the castle, and if you're staring at the statue, you turn left, and you're being led to where this forge is. The grounds around here seem to... Well, they seemed to at one point have some recent life, and then went away for whatever reason. You can tell that. But as you pass the corner, about 20 feet in all directions away from the forge, is lush green grass and wildflowers, like just perfectly green and alive. And as you're kind of apprehensive, like, what the fuck is this? Because this is
Not normal. For
this
Barovia.
is not normal. And you just follow it, which is like, this is just another day here at Argynvolstholt, la 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 la, no big deal. And as they cross that threshold and are walking in this grass and land of wildflowers, and you also step on that, like, you just get this rush, this feeling of, it's almost making you lightheaded, but this is holy ground. There's like a hum, a charge in the air that, if for you, is especially strong. You can feel it. You recognize divine blessing. And when you go into the forge itself, the forge, shockingly clean. But you can see up on the wall a symbol, and you, like, as you're looking and like, what is that? Knowledge beyond what makes sense for a Barovian to have. You realize that the symbol represents Mordecai, a dwarven god of smiths and father of quite a few other.
Wait, Mordenkainen, you said?
Oh no, Moradin. Fucking
Okay, I
names.
was like,
Thank you.
Wait a second.
M names.
M names,
too
D
similar.
names, L
Apparently-
names.
Apparently, I'm on a quest to find my dad. I didn't realize this.
I mean, we are now.
great,
Or to
great,
find
great,
his
great,
journal.
great granddad.
Moradin, excuse me. You don't know why you know that information. It makes absolutely no sense because you have no idea where you've ever heard of that, but maybe you've read about it in some strange tomes that your parents had while you were being raised. Who knows? It's just
Who knows?
a
Yeah.
fragment of
Right.
information that was back here in the La La Land, just where, hey, and you're like, that is strange.
Whoa.
Why do I know that? You don't know much about the deity, but I will tell you what you do know is that not typically an evil deity.
Noted.
And so you have that feel about this area. So when you're told to close that door, it's almost like it traps some of the essence inside this area because it's almost like a buzz in your ears
Mm-hmm.
of just
Yeah.
how blessed this land
Yeah.
currently is.
I'm like genuinely smiling then as I close the door. Turn back to see
As a
what's going on.
crazy person should, because the other one's priest.
Obviously. Apparently the other one's the priestly one.
I'm not sure what else could have been meant by that comment, obviously.
Hey, so, put the little sack of human flesh up here on the anvil. So I'll stand on one side of the anvil, and
Okay.
I'll have my shield up and hammer in hand. So obviously, if something's going to jump out of this thing, I'm going to whack it with the hammer.
Got it.
I'm gonna
then
draw
I'll
the
let Whit open
swords.
Okay.
I'm muted. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. Your armor class at 15. Don't worry about it. Just move on.
And then, you know, it would have been handy if I'd have taken Mage Hand as a cantrip. Oh, I need to work on that. All
You've
right.
been touching it the whole time. Just peel it open.
I'm going to. Okay, everybody else, just make sure you're a little farther back just in case. And I will not with my eyeball in it. I'm gonna open it up and see if anything reacts when I pull it open.
I'll look at it.
And if it doesn't do anything, I will look in.
All right. As you dig out the pouch of flesh and set it down, and looking all around, everybody's got their preparations, and you reach your hands across and you begin to separate. There's a very sick, slimy sound as something wet being separated from something else wet. It's just a goobery sound. As you pop this thing open, nothing jumps out.
What is
Who's
in it?
looking inside the bag? Valgwyn and Wit. Okay, both of you looking inside. There's something black and sort of tannish inside. Not really sure.
Does it look gooey?
I mean, the whole bag looks gooey, so yeah.
Okay, so the material, is it like just a glob of it at the bottom of the bag, or does it have some form?
It's got some form and shape to it, but it's hard to make out what the shape is. It's definitely, there's some sort of object inside, and it's black and it's more black and some bits of tan.
Alright. Hopefully you got some healing stuff loaded up, and I will reach in and extract whatever that is.
Alright. Give me an investigation roll with advantage.
Investigation.
Can I give her guidance because we're in the forge?
It
Sure.
just says I
A
have
little bit of holy juice. Roll a d4 with that.
It also says I'm still at 2 points of exhaustion.
Fine. Fucking get your fucking characters, your fucking 1 point of fucking exhaustion. There you fucking go, fuck.
Thank you.
Go, now you're
Okay, hang
deleted
on, then I
again.
gotta. Okay. Investigation. Add a d4. Add advantage. Okay. Oh shit!
God damn.
Nice. So,
Wit has
As-
never been so smart.
you put your hand inside the bag of human flesh, going down and grabbing onto this thing. There are two sensations that immediately hit your unprotected hand. One, it's a little slimy. Two, it is warm. And as your fingers pick up on the underneath, you begin to pull it out. The last thing that you realize before you've pulled this thing out of the bag is it's beating. as you pull out of the bag a beating heart. Obviously decayed some with the light tan color, but otherwise seemingly covered in some kind of black goo.
I'm just gonna throw that out here. That's not normal.
Not at all.
It
Is the-
appears humanoid versus bestial, just by size, but it is a little bit bigger than you would expect like a normal human to have. It's a little bit bigger.
Like hag size?
I mean, you didn't really rip a hag apart. You kind of burnt their bodies. Hard to say.
Val? Who is this?
Well, it's a still beating heart. First off,
That's the part I
I'm
understood.
going to go with we probably know what the abjuration and necromantic magic is, and I'm going to regret this. I'm going to stick my hand into the bag.
Okay.
And cast Identify.
Okay. You get nothing back other than its human flesh.
Interesting.
So
Then
this-
I assume my hand's covered with black goo and shit
Yeah,
now, right?
basically. Yeah.
Well, I will regret this doubly and do the same thing for the heart.
All right. Excellent. So, the heart, what you, what Identify reveals to you is that, the heart is a, oh my gosh, words. The heart acts as a +3 arcane focus. It is the still beating heart of something. You know that it's been warped with hag magic. And yeah, that's it. You don't know why the schools are there.
Hey, so, creepy still beating heart out of chest
You need
seems to
Arcana
be...
check.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
And I feel like your god is speaking to you, so make sure you give yourself some guidance.
Oh my goodness. That's what I like to hear.
Very disgusted by this all.
He's
You
like,
did
"Oh,
close
You
the
are art.
Okay. With a 25, I will tell you that even though you haven't been a forge cleric for long, some strange, like, bits of knowledge you thought you had given up and forgotten are creeping through. Little nuggets where you know that Identify does not give you everything of an object, especially if that object happens to be a cursed item. And you know this thing did not give up all of its secrets.
Hey, so back to what I was saying about creepy still beating heart not in chest in bag thing. Let's just say it's cursed as fuck.
So, on a scale of 1 to destroy it, we're at destroy it, right?
On a scale of 1 to destroy it, it's indeterminate. I know that it's a plus. It's a magical. Can be used as a magical focus, but whatever it was originally has been terribly warped by hag magic.
If it's cursed, I mean, as good as it would be to have a little bit of a boost of magic, I don't I can't trust this thing. What if
I
it's hers? What if it's her
Worst
heart
things-
still beating that we've taken with us?
somehow I doubt that. If it's some sort of preserved heart, it's still beating. There's a good chance that since we've killed this one, that she's toast. But it could be something else is still beating heart. And leverage is always good to have. It's either that or we ask Misery if there's someplace dark and deep we can bury this thing. You never know if it could be useful later. Or,
That's
you
true.
know what? Hold on. Let me take another crack at it. Just waste all my spell slots. Why not? Just
Awesome.
gonna send it.
Maximum effort. Let's
Fucking
go.
Remove curse.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's see if I can purify said cursed heart.
Watching this all with very wide eyes.
give me a spell casting ability check.
You got this, yo.
Do I get my super awesome 1d4 because we're in the forge?
I'll allow it.
Sweet mother of God. Yes, sweet mother of God.
Nice.
So as you grab hold, as you touch this thing with your hand, and you cast that divine magic, that magic pulsing through you and hitting into this object, the object flashes like resisting with this black essence that just kind of seeps out like fog almost, and just like thick blurps of it just coming out of it, hitting the ground, and like building a slow, low-hanging mist on the ground as it begins to resist this. And as you're wondering, oh shit, the symbol on the wall flares up, and you all just hear what sounds like a hammer hitting anvil. Bang! As another jolt goes through Valgwyn and just completely decimates all of the blackness. And what's left is a now shriveling, decaying heart that stops beating and turns to ash.
Well, good news, everyone. It's not cursed anymore.
You know,
I'd say this is a job well done. Congratulations,
I
team.
Yes.
I was actually going to agree. I know you wanted it for leverage, but I can't say that I mind that it ain't an issue no more.
If it was keeping something alive, it's probably dead now.
Does anything happen to the flesh bag?
It's just a bag made out of human flesh, or humanoid flesh. Just sitting there.
Valgwyn will go to scoop that up and just kind of be like, so if no one's needing this anymore, like, snaps fingers, lights forge, goes to I'm gonna toss this in there and burn this shit up.
Well, that's it. Can you wait? Can you please wait until we're out of here? I don't know if you've ever smelled flesh burning, but it ain't a pretty smell. So.
Well, open the doors, I'll toss it in, we'll all leave.
Successful morning.
Well,
Fire.
Just kidding, I'm not leaving until I know that thing is burned up and gone.
Mm-hmm. I agreed.
yep, I'm gonna picture.
Okay. Well, I mean, the black ichor nonsense was part of the object which was cursed. So the bag itself dried skin, so it doesn't take long to catch and burn.
Good.
Well, Well, probably not the most optimal thing. At least, crisis averted.
There you are, silver linings, Valwood. And nothing blew up, which is better than what we were expecting. Now,
Now I can just remove the cursed heart of the hag from the potential items to the destroyed items. Thanks. It's all
I
good.
feel better about this. Now
Uh-huh.
that I heard that, I feel much better.
I was really
Uh-huh.
hoping somebody would attune to that.
That would've
Somebody
been
would have,
interesting.
but they're not
Wit-
here anymore.
Wit was actually contemplating it, so
In a few in-game days, Wit would have noticed their fingers growing a little longer.
see, should have given it to Devin.
Don't worry.
Again, his
Devin's
first
being
instinct was
fucked in all the hag ways that there is.
poor Devin.
I've seen that video.
Yeah.
It was a stater. It wasn't pretty.
Mhm.
I don't know. Devin thinks it's pretty.
Mhm.
Again, I'm glad my first instinct was correct and nothing bad happened. Good job, team. Successful retrieval. Meeting adjourned.
Hey,
I'm
so,
gonna go wash my
how
hands.
about everyone head over to the, training grounds? I think the rest of the orders, finished drawing the circle probably by now, and, I'm sure they're going to want to give the Sunstone purification a test run. For the real
Funny
deal.
you say that, because I was just about to say, those of you who are part of the order get a message from Misery asking you to come to the training yard and to bring the 2 new friends with you.
10-4.
I'll wait by the door of the forge till Val's comes out because I'm guessing he's probably going to be the last one out. And just this is.
Yeah, I gotta clean the remnants of nasty
Yeah.
flesh bag out of
Yeah.
the furnace because that's
that would just contaminate your metals. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, I wouldn't want that lingering.
I'm just
around.
gonna hang out, wait for Val. So when Val finally exits the forge, I'll come back. This is quite a place you have here.
It was quite an experience putting it together.
I can believe that. Never felt such anything.
The greenest I've ever seen this place. Of course,
beautiful.
unless I really fire it up and then everything's basically molten slag, but what can you do?
Perhaps not that then.
Point of clarification. The 20 feet around doesn't turn to molten slag. It's the area after that that does.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Well, yeah.
Well, Barovia needs some beauty. And that's what's here.
I will. Hopefully, we'll make it a little prettier by taking out some garbage.
Starting with the big man himself.
Oh no. Let's dismantle the things around him. Then we can take out the big man.
As long as he's on the list.
Oh, he's at the very bottom. As in, the last thing to do, because people have a look on their face like, oh, it's the least important to know that you, start at the top of the list and work your way down for the last things at the very bottom.
I understand.
Just kill Strahd.
All right. Do you guys head over to that side?
I see a thumbs up.
Okay.
I see multiple thumbs up.
Yeah. I will follow
So-
as directed then.
As you head over to that side, it's a bit cloudier than normal Barovia, in that it's a bit darker for it being daytime. And there's a bit of a chill in the air when you get as Acadia, walking past the sword inside the stone below the dragon, not in the dragon. Do you rubberneck that again, or?
Mm-hmm.
Don't take things that aren't yours.
What kind of sword does it look like?
Right now you just see a hilt of what looks like a single hand to maybe 2 hands. It doesn't look like a great sword. It looks like something smaller, but doesn't look like a short sword. It's somewhere in the between. Maybe a sword that's long.
It's very descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just the revenants that are still there?
Yeah. 4 revenants stand around it.
Nobody knows why that's there?
No?
Oh, yeah. That's Godfrey's sword.
Why is it in the stone?
For 1, safekeeping, and 2, I can't really use swords very well. So I figured eventually someone will come looking for it to use it. And then if they so be worthy, they can pull the sword from the stone.
So you put the stone or the sword in the rock to keep it safe.
Aye.
Okay then.
Because
Off to
here's
the
a little
ritual.
known fact. If the sword doesn't like you, it won't let you pull it from the stone.
Huh.
As we're walking still, swords always like me. I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. As you make that turn, you notice that just because of the way that light works in Barovia and the additional overcast area, it looks darker on this side than normal. Which is weird because you can see the 3 sunstones in specific positions, seemingly, as they form what looks to be a triangle with one of the points facing you all. There are a handful of revenants around, and you can see that Misery and Rothund. Excuse me. My goodness.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Oh, my soda stream soda here. Bubbly delicious. Anyway, they seem to be, well, standing in a particular spot. Let's reload this scene. Let me know when you guys have the 100% across the way there. If the bar's gone, it's probably done.
Done on my end.
All right, let me activate this scene. Hopefully light works. There we go. Really? I can't. Okay. So we can move down. We can move down. All right, we'll get there, guys. We'll get there. So you see the. There we go. You got Sunstone, Sunstone, Sunstone. In the center, the amber egg seems to reside. You've got Misery over here and Rothund here. Archie's not really here. You're down here, but this is where you were at when I was doing stuff. So you're here now, whatever. And as you are walking over, Misery says, all right. So this is old magic from the depths of the castle. And it's not something a revenant can help with, which is why I need your help. It's hard to see, but on the ground there are 8 smaller circles outside of this larger circle. And you'll know when you're on it because it'll light up. And as she takes the step, you see the ground beneath her seem to erupt in amber light as beams of light come from the circle that she's around and seem to be making their way to the left and right of her. And as she says this, Rothund then takes a step. And his lights up. If you will all take
Cool.
your places.
Okay.
As from here, there's a beam heading towards here. And from here, there's a beam heading towards here. As Arcadia finds one. And it lights up. Rothund finds one. Wit finds one. Savan finds one. And I'll move old Trixie over. So as you all walk and step onto these smaller carvings of circles on the ground. And for those of you who are OCD, remember if you hold shift, you can kind of make yourself in the middle of it if you really want to.
Oh, I can.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Definitely needed that information. Thank you.
Kind of drag yourself around, hold shift, move yourself in the middle, and then let go of your drag, and you'll be in the middle.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
God.
There you go, kids. I knew it was going to happen. All right. So, as these things light up, again, from Misery, 2 points come down, and from Rothan, another point goes down. And as you're all getting all these things, some of you who are, maybe all of you are thinking, like, is stepping on this going to break anything here? And, some of you might be a little bit more gender about it because it just looks carved. But as soon as there seems to be some kind of presence on this, you don't sink in, you don't disturb the carving in any way, shape, or form. But what you do notice is that you feel yourself weakening as something is being pulled from you. Now it's not for Arcadia, it's not the same as what you felt on the table where you were exhausted and dying, but you definitely don't feel as strong as you should. You don't feel like you can take you can take a punch in the face and just shake it off. You feel almost childlike. Not that you're changing into a child, but that's the weakened state that you feel in. And for the rest of you, you feel the same way. You feel, those of you who have a connection to a arcane or divine source, that connection is severed. But it's maybe severed isn't the right word. You can't access that. You feel that energy being directed into this sigil that you're standing on. You feel yourself weakening, but then it seems to level out. Above table, you have no access to your spells. All of your ability points are at 10. You have 10 hit points. So you feel this drain, and as you're all like having this realization, Misery says, "All right now," and she's heavy breathing. You should all be realizing one of the limitations of ancient magic is that it requires an abundance of energy that comes from us, from the scripture that I have been reading for a little while. This doesn't appear to be a permanent thing, and truthfully, once you step out of the sigil you're standing on, you should return to your level of normal, whatever that is. I will stress that you not move from your sigil when we start. I do not know what the repercussions thereof could be, but my understanding is it's bad. and I'm not sure how that will affect the ritual as a whole. What I do know from this is when we start, the amber egg will act as a focus to pull the corruption out of these stones. When that happens, we need to use the dagger to cut that corruption, to destroy it in a sense. Now I don't know what that will look like, if there will be shadows of creatures or yourselves or each other or us. I don't know. There's no one alive who remembers this. It was only by accident that we even found this. But hopefully we'll be successful, because we're going to need a clean or not corrupted, all three, not A. We will need the Sunstones for the ritual for Rashir, which will be a much bigger version of this. So, are you ready?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be the one behind. What do you need us to do? Just stand here and don't move? Who?
Stand there, don't move, and my understanding is that the dagger will just go to you.
Oh.
I don't know. We've never this hasn't been done in any lifetimes that anybody here remembers. And what if something comes at you? Kill it with the dagger. That's my understanding. Is the dagger is the only thing that can hurt or sever this. The egg pulls the corruption out, and we need to use the dagger to sever it or kill it or stab it until it's dead, 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 not just dead.
Who's got the dagger right now?
I do not. No, I was hoping one of you had it.
Did Ro have it?
Trix had it, didn't she?
I thought Trix had it.
I thought
thought
Trix
Trix
gave it to
gave it to
Rothan after
Ro.
she cut herself. Yeah.
Correct. I think Ro had it.
Yeah, because she
Has it?
was yelling at being, don't it
Damn
cut
you,
me, and I'm
Rothan.
still being.
22
Nathan
says Ro has
confirms,
it.
Yeah,
yes.
Nathan says Ro has it.
Damn you for not adding anything random in your inventory. That's right. I will add.
Yeah, Nathan says Ro has it.
Did anybody actually identify this thing? At least so.
Not at that moment, I
Nope.
don't think.
Nope. Okay, cool.
I
It's
think
fine.
the best I did was detect magic.
Awesome. Awesome. Unidentified dagger it is. Okay. So yeah, the roll has it, and the roll will have it out. And so Misery goes, are you ready?
Okay.
I believe so.
Crossbow and dagger out.
And go.
Ooh.
And change. Nope, I need to be on this one. Whoops. Dadgummit. That's right. Nope, I don't want that one. I want you with you, and we're going to go with you and apply. Update. There. Finally. Okay. So, Misery says a bunch of humbly jumblies. And, well, actually, language only Valgwin seemingly understands, but we'll get to that later.
If it's in Draconic, I understand it.
It's not Draconic.
Okay.
That's why it's language only Valgwin understands. If Lulu
Probably.
was here, Lulu would understand it because she has the love of Gorax. But he doesn't, and only some douche nozzle who gave up their knowledge and has Argynvolstholt speech understands this. And it's not that you understand the words but not their meaning. You recognize the words and can translate it in your head, but it doesn't really make sense. And we'll come to you with that later. Anywho's, awesomes. As she says this, you guys see that coming around the energy that has built up in between all of you pulls into the center itself, and as you watch the energy go around and glow, and this amber light just seemingly pulling everything together. Now you can see why the stones themselves were in a particular location, as they seem to be within themselves also somehow part of their own minor thing. They are glowing at this point, and you see that it's like a pulse radiating from the top going down, and as soon as it hits the ground, you see that the area around them pulse as well with brighter amber light. And as this happens, the egg in the center seems to hover for about 5 feet. And then when that does that, it begins to turn in a counterclockwise direction. And as this happens, you all feel wind just blowing around. I want all of you to give me active perception checks with eyeballs.
Are we using our own stats for this? Or just rolling a
Just rolling a d10.
d20?
Yeah, whatever. Because
Okay.
you have no
Just because
pluses.
you said our stats all
You have your
changed, right?
trained ability still, just not your pluses for the thing.
So I
Okay.
got confused. Perception check based on the.
Just roll a
our-
d20. Just roll a d20
roll
in
a
chat.
D20.
All of your stats are 10, so you don't get a plus anything. So just roll a d20 in chat, please. And what is our... anybody who's proficient in it will add a 4 to that number. So Wit, are you proficient in perception?
I have expertise.
Okay.
Yes, I am proficient.
Okay. Then let's do Rothund. Excuse me, you are also proficient. +4. Well, Rothund doesn't see it. Let's see, does Trix notice? Trix also. Awesome. Trix notices. And so Valgwyn, Savon, Vivian, Arcadia, Wit, because you're with your +4. Really, everybody except for Rothund? Awesome. What about, does Misery notice? Misery, yes, is proficient, so d20 +4. Yes, Misery does. All right, cool. So everybody except for Rothund notices that as this wind is twisting and turning, the pulses on the ground and you all are seem to be matching. Like it starts with Misery, then goes to Valgwyn, then goes to Trix, and so on. Like it's boom, boom, boom. Like that's the flow. But then this black essence is being pulled from these 3 stones. And as that swirls and turns and twists, it coalesces into the image of shadows. In front of all of you. Dun, dun, Da 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 dum. And you? Yeah, not you, not you, not you. Roll initiative.
Is that another just flat D20 again?
Nah, just roll. We're not gonna. We're just
Okay.
hit the buttons. Hit the buttons, do it normal. And your armor class is mage armor. Boom, fixed.
Yay.
Rothund. Actually, I should just do roll the rest. Roll. All right. Excellent. Nope. Nope. Yes. Yes. And this thing's fun. All right. Tap the round, Sivan! Been told not to leave your circle.
Okay, but I can still do stuff from inside my circle.
You certainly can. However, you were also told that only the dagger can actually do anything. So do you want to wait until you have a dagger and stab at a shadow? Fair enough. That's exactly what Misery's doing. They are looking at Rothund like, come on, do the thing. Do the thing. Oh, the shadow coming over. You can see that as this strange creature-like thing, the shadow of a person, and it just kind of hovers there. No real form or feature. They seem to be writing the lines of the ritual to come into your space here. Boop. I said boop. Thank you. They attack with mightiness.
Does the sigil actually go away, or is that just a thing?
No, it's because it's a toggle because.
Okay, so it doesn't actually affect the magic sigil.
It does not. Please ignore that part. It totally doesn't work. Sigil is there as long as you're there, maybe? Who knows? Anyway, so this thing reaches out with its creepy, shadowy arm, trying to reach past your defenses, like getting in the guts of the guts. It wants your essence.
Not without a date first.
And as it does so, that energy that's been pulled out of you seems to flare up, and this shield of amber energy blocks the shadow. Arcadia.
So we're just supposed to stand here and wait for the dagger? I'm confused! I'm just gonna stand there and wait for the dagger.
Excellent choice. This one riding on the powers of the ley lines, if you will. Coming over to the Thund of Ro. Die! Damn. As yet again, the amber energy comes up, blocking the hit. Hey, Trix isn't here. Let's kill Trix, right? Wow. Apparently not. Damn, Trix. Armor class at 18. Fucking survives the attack with the shadow. You guys can pretty much tell what's going on here, right? Boop, boop, boop.
Mhm.
Boop, boop, boop. Oh!
Ouch.
Jam! As this one just into misery, it seems to pull, and this black essence coming out with their hand, and it looks almost like the essence and the shadow kind of merge, like it's eating it, because it's coming from the top head looking thing coming down. Oh, as their strength store. You see Misery's looking kind of not so having a hard time standing right now. They're a bit shaky. Coming at you, fam. Coming at you. Yes! Damn. Trix, waiting for the dagger. Actually, Trix is gonna try to punch it. Fuck this shit, she says. If anybody's gonna figure out what happens, it's gonna be her.
That is the
Fair.
case. Yes.
Mhm.
And punch. All right. So you see as Trix just has the just sets the swords off to the side, just wheels a big haymaker, just whoosh, and her fist just goes straight through Shadow. Doesn't seem to make any kind of contact. And then she goes, "Where's the?" It's her turn. Oh, this Shadow here, she's gonna come down here to Miss Yvonne and just gonna give her a cute little punch in the face. Oof. Or Yvonne, as you feel your strength reduced even more. These shadows, they're pulling something out of you. Rothan! Gonna attack with this unidentified dagger. Come on, Rothan, you can do it! Yes! So Rothan, grabbing onto the not pointy end of the dagger and just kind of, like a professional, just whoosh, right where the neck would be, seems to just decapitate this shadow. And what happens is as the shadow is cut down, you guys can see that whatever was connecting this thing to the rest of this ritual just suddenly breaks. And that dark essence is pulled into the amber egg. And then Rothan goes, Misery's not looking so good, and seems to like throw. The rest of you are like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like Trix is like, that thing barely touched it and I was bleeding for days. As the dagger stops and this amber energy seems to take it, and it follows lines within the ritual going to Misery, who grabs it. Uses their held act to attack with the dagger. The unidentified dagger. And boom! Nice! as the amber-like energy kind of directs this dagger over to Misery, you see her grab it, and with quick succession, slash, 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 as the shadow is just seemingly cut into 3 pieces, and also, again, whatever tether there was seems to break, and that blackness pulled into the amber egg. As she just lets go of the dagger. And it seems like there's a direction of the wind, there's a direction of all this, as that amber energy seems to grab and pull the dagger over to Valgwyn. So I need to add the unidentified dagger to Valgwyn. Boop, boop. There you go. That was Rothan's turn. This shadow, Totes Magoat's gonna come up here in this crazy person's fucking area and try
Holding
to
my shield.
pull her soul out, and fails to do so. Womp wampus. Oh, good. Let's kill Valgwyn real quick before he has a chance to kill me.
Yeah,
What?
do it. You won't.
Yeah, I won't. I knew you were gonna say that. Boom!
Oh,
Damn. Ah, only 1 point gone from your strength. Whatever. Not even a big deal for you. Vivian?
I'm just gonna glare at this thing and hold my action to stab it when I get a dagger.
Step with the whip. Oh yeah, you have the old version. The new version doesn't automatically take place.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I'll do the same thing everybody else is. I will watch what's happening and wait for the dagger to come to me for steps.
Attractive. Valgwyn.
I do not see said dagger in my inventory. Huh. Should put it on the old Valgwyn sheet.
There you go. I just
I
dragged
see
it
it
onto
now.
your attributes page instead of the inventory page.
Oh, see? Well, that's my bad. Anyway, let the stabbing begin. I don't know why that rolled like that. But,
Bro, it's fucking dead, okay? You don't have to over
it's-
fucking do it. You Divine Forge bullshit.
Look, you don't lie. You liked it.
Hot.
Let the dagger go, and I assume it'll float over to Trix.
It does float seas over to Trixie's here. Which I need to boop, move it on over. And delete from your inventory. It's no longer with you. And Misery. Well, Trix in her, feat of rage goes, "This is too fucking light! This isn't even a real fucking weapon! God, I hope I don't cut myself."
Fussy little thing.
Why didn't it... I don't know why it didn't do anything when the 12 hits the shadow, but... whatever. 12 points gone. Shadow's dead. Dagger released. Sent to Vivian. As the dagger maybe hopefully is in your inventory. Yes. Vivian, your held action.
Going to use this dagger thing.
Excellent. Easy peasies. You
Yep.
kill the shadow. Again,
And then just let go of the dagger.
and it goes on down the line. I mean, technically, this is all still Rothan's turn because it's all held actions happening whenever you get the dagger. Oh, this is the most fun of a held action I've had in a long time. Alright, bring the unidentified dagger over. Alright, Svan, make your attacky-tacky with the unidentified item in your inventory. Make sure you have a target and hit 5.
1 second.
Yeah, rolled a 5. Fuck, that's... Why is it not applying damage? I don't fucking know what's going on, but, hey, I'm not really caring.
I'll plan in a minute.
Wait
Minus
for the
10.
dagger.
Guide. Letting go of the dagger, which comes to wit. I said which comes to wit. A dead. Great. Wit's held action.
Unidentified?
That's correct. Nobody identified the dagger. It's an unidentified dagger.
Okay.
Did you have a target?
No.
Of course not.
But
I guess
I rolled
the
a
crit
nat
killed.
20.
Yeah, you rolled a nat 20, only doing 9 points of damage. Epic. Epic. Let me tell you though, 9
But it
points
looks
is enough.
cool.
9 points
But it
is
looks
enough.
real cool. He just
Great
kind of
job.
catches it, spins it,
Great
cuts
job.
the head off, and then sends it off away. It looks beautiful.
And you know, actually, it's kind of part the whole motion, right? He just kind of throws the dagger in like a boomerang-like motion, which just barely nicks the shadow, but it's enough to make the head just explode on impact as the dagger like spiral flies over as amber energy grabs it and brings it over to Arcadia.
There we go. Yeah.
Because, you know, shit's got to be cool. Who's held action?
Inventory. Unidentified dagger.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only person that misses. Could not find something.
No, you're the only one who's for whatever reason attacked and killed. Great. So as that happens, the dagger is pulled out of your hand and just hovers over and around the amber egg, which is still floating about 5 feet off the ground, as the wind around is just picking up. As this essence, yes, because of held actions, yes, it was the best thing ever. As this happens, and more of this energy is pulled out of these stones and being sucked into the amber egg, you watch as the stones change.
Ooh.
From their corrupted selves of acting as base sunstones, slowly changing into an object that Valgun is very familiar with. These are giant shaped stones of starstone.
Oh man, not marshmallow.
In their pure form. These things seem to have been refined perfectly. And as that last bit of darkness gets pulled out and pulled into the amber egg, the spiraling starts to slow down before the egg comes down to the ground. The dagger, blade first, into the ground itself. As the amber energy dies down.
Wow.
And you all are a little tired, smidge, but you feel your abilities coming back. You feel your strengths returning. You all are covered in sweat for something that didn't seem to take long. And Misery's over there just panting up a storm.
Anybody hurt? Anyone got hit?
Are we done now?
Oh, the triggered again.
Sure did. That's right.
It triggered when I walked off of it. It turns off when I go back to it now.
Crap on.
Oh,
You
God.
know what, guys? Magic is a fickle thing. Okay, what do you expect?
I would like to check Misery's condition.
Give me a medicine check.
Yeah, I want to come over and help out.
See what's going on.
Jesus Christ.
Nailed it.
Misery's breathing. She looks paler than normal, which is, you know, a hard thing for a gray person to do.
As I walk over, I'm gonna pull out my healer's kit and be like, "Can I help at all?"
I doubt that the injury's physical. I think it's just the toll that it takes. Especially once you get hit by them shadows.
Oh, they were interesting, but the light prevailed, as it does.
So Misery, would you count this as a success then?
I think so. I was not expecting them to be that Starstone stuff, but it seems like all the black energy went into the egg like it was supposed to, like I read in the book. I think this is a success.
Do you still have this book?
No, it's in the catacombs.
Do you think perhaps I could take a look at it?
If the Guardian lets you pass, sure.
I will get 2 of the Revenant's attention.
Okay.
And, you two, there! Help Misery back to her chamber!
They walk over to Misery and help Misery stand up. Well, that's kind, Falcon, but there's more to do. Need to get the egg, and these things. Wow. You'll make sure nobody blows up the castle with them, right?
Hey, let's move them over to the forge area. Unless we need them for the next part of the ritual.
Well, I guess we should maybe talk about that. Let's go inside where we can sit down. Whew.
I will... You all standing out here, besides you 4 over there, by the sword. Guard these things, let no one touch them. There. Done.
They begin to move.
You're getting real comfortable with that there, Valgwin.
You never know what's in store. You're only playing with the cards you're dealt.
There was
Just seem to-
not a judgment in that statement, just an observation.
We just seem to move around it. And as we head inside the castle, let's take a moment to relieve ourselves from the liquid we've been drinking.
Woo!